Here's a question enterprise teams routinely get wrong. Does every role on your agent team need your single smartest, most expensive model? For most multi-agent pipelines, the answer is a clear no, and treating every role as if it does is one of the most common sources of unnecessary cost and latency in production systems. A router agent deciding which of 3 worker agents should handle a request is a comparatively simple classification task. A QA scorer agent checking whether a response matches a rubric is pattern matching work. Neither needs frontier-level reasoning. The role that benefits from your most capable, most expensive model is the one doing synthesis and judgment under ambiguity, typically your core inference or writer role. Model triaging, or cascading, is the discipline of deliberately matching each role's model choice to its actual reasoning complexity, rather than defaulting every single agent in your team to the same top-tier model out of convenience. Skipping this discipline is one of the most common and most avoidable sources of runaway enterprise. In practice, model cascading looks like assigning a tiered team roster. Your router agent, which just needs to classify is this a billing question or a technical question, runs on a cheap, extremely fast model, something in the Claude Haiku or GPT-4o mini class, because routing accuracy on a simple classification task barely improves by upgrading to a frontier model, but latency and cost both improve dramatically by downgrading to a smaller one. Your QA scorer agent, checking outputs against a defined rubric, similarly runs well on a smaller model, since rubric matching is closer to pattern recognition than open-ended reasoning. Your core inference or writer agent, the one synthesizing research into original, nuanced analysis, is where you reserve your most expensive reasoning model, something in the Claude Opus or O3 class, because that's where model capability translates into output quality. This kind of tiered roster is now considered close to standard practice among teams running multi-agent systems at meaningful daily volume. This roster is revisited regularly as pricing and capability shift. Let's make the cascading trade-off concrete with the math. Total pipeline cost is the sum, across every agent role, of that role's token volume times that role's chosen model's price per token. If all 5 roles in our earlier example use a premium model priced, hypothetically, at 15 times the cost of a small model, and each role uses roughly similar token volume, your total cost is 5 units of premium pricing. Cascade intelligently, premium model only for the inference role, small model for the other 4, and your total cost becomes 1 unit of premium pricing plus 4 units of small model pricing, which, even at that 15 times price gap, comes out to a small fraction of the all-premium total. The exact multiplier will vary by provider and workload, but the direction of the math, concentrate expensive reasoning only where it earns its cost, holds consistently across nearly every real deployment. Always validate the assumption with real evaluation data before trusting the arithmetic alone. Numbers alone should never greenlight a cost. Let's now build a complete role-based team end-to-end, tying every concept from this video together in working code. This is our 4-agent roster. Rex the router, running on a cheap model tier since classification is a simple task. Nova the researcher, whose boundaries strictly forbid writing prose, keeping decomposition clean. Iris the writer, whose boundaries restrict her to facts already present in shared state, structurally preventing her from inventing content the researcher never provided. And Ava the critic, whose boundaries forbid rewriting, enforcing the creator-critic separation from section 2 at the code level rather than just as a suggestion. Notice model_tiers at the top. This is where model cascading gets wired in. Rex and Ava, doing classification and pattern matching work respectively, will run on the cheap tier while Iris, doing synthesis, gets the premium tier. Wiring model tiers directly into the persona definitions like this keeps cost consciousness embedded in the architecture itself, rather than left as an afterthought bolted on later. It also makes the roster easy to audit for cost governance. This orchestrator function is where every architectural pillar becomes one coherent system. It's built as a deterministic DAG backbone, route, research, write, critique, but with a cyclical loop wrapped around the writer-critic checkpoint, the hybrid topology we recommended back in section 4. That loop is explicitly bounded to 3 attempts, which is our infinite loop guard from section 6, and the else clause on the for loop is Python's clean way of handling graceful degradation when retries are exhausted, rather than crashing. Notice the model tier assigned to each call. Cheap for router and critic, premium only for the writer. Model cascading applied directly. The Blackboard state object scopes what each agent sees via state.read, our shared ephemeral state pattern from section 3, and this entire function is declared async. ready for the research step to be expanded into a parallel, essentio.gather. Call the moment a use case needs multiple research angles at once. This kind of pipeline is also straightforward to unit test, since each numbered stage is a discrete. The final piece wraps the whole orchestrator in one more layer of production discipline. The outer try/except is graceful degradation applied at the top level of the entire pipeline, not just individual tool calls. If anything unexpected happens anywhere downstream, the system returns a structured fallback response instead of crashing entirely and losing every trace of what happened. After a successful run, notice we don't just return the output, we immediately run an evaluator persona against it, our LLM as a judge pattern from Performance Topic 3, scoring the final deliverable and flagging anything below a quality threshold for human review rather than shipping it blind. This is what closes the loop between architecture and performance engineering. The same pipeline that was carefully decomposed, given personas, memory, controlled routing, tool access, and loop guards is now also measured, cost-optimized through model tiering, and protected by fallback logic, a complete, production-grade role-based multi-agent system in well under 100 lines of core logic. Let's step back and look at the full system as one architecture diagram. Here is the complete system all in one view. A task enters through the router running on a cheap model which classifies it and hands off to the researcher also on a cheap tier who writes findings into shared ephemeral state and, where relevant, pulls long-term context from semantic memory. The writer on your premium model reads that state and produces a draft. The critic, cheap tier again, reviews it and a bounded loop capped at 3 cycles, sends the draft back for revision if needed with grounding checks watching for the error propagation risk from Section 6. Every agent that needs external data connects out through MCP-based tool access, sandboxed for safety. Wrapping the entire pipeline is an outer guardrail layer, try/except fallback handling, and a final LLM as a judge evaluation step scoring the output before it ships, flagging low-confidence results for human review. This single diagram is worth returning to any time a new role, tool, or performance optimization needs to be added, since every addition should map cleanly onto one. Before we close, let's name the failure patterns that sink multi-agent projects, since recognizing them is often more valuable than any single technique. First, the single overloaded persona, an agent given too many jobs, quietly reintroducing the lost-in-the-middle problem the entire architecture exists to solve. Second, unbounded loops, a writer-critic cycle with no maximum retry count, capable of silently burning budget for hours. Third, self-grading, letting one agent evaluate its own work instead of enforcing creator-critic separation. Fourth, uniform model selection, running every single role, including simple routers and scorers, on your most expensive model out of convenience, quietly tripling your cost for no quality benefit. Fifth, unmeasured pipelines, shipping a multi-agent system with no LLM as a judge evaluation layer and no component-level scoring, meaning you're flying blind on whether any change helped. Every one of these is fixable with the specific techniques we covered in this video, but they all share the same root cause: skipping a step of the discipline because the demo already looked good enough. Pulling this entire video into one checklist for enterprise deployment, decomposed by skill boundaries and success metrics, not arbitrarily. Give every persona explicit boundaries and a few concrete examples, not just a vague description. Scope shared state deliberately, and route only durable cross-session facts into vector-based semantic memory. Choose your control flow topology deliberately, deterministic where you can, a supervisor only where you truly need runtime flexibility, and a bounded cyclical loop around quality checkpoints. Give agents tool access through structured schemas and, where possible, standardize on MCP, always inside a sandbox for any code executing role. Guard every loop with a hard retry cap, and push verification as early in the pipeline as possible to stop error cascades before they compound. Run every role through a real async dependency analysis and parallelize what's independent. Cache static prompts and compact dynamic context aggressively. Build a synthetic evaluation bench before you ship, not after something breaks in production. And triage your model tiers deliberately, premium reasoning only where reasoning is the bottleneck. That's the complete discipline. Where is this discipline heading next? Standardization is accelerating. Protocols like MCP are becoming the common substrate connecting agents to enterprise tools, reducing the bespoke integration burden that's slowed adoption so far, and more vendors are converging around compatible standards rather than competing incompatible ones. Cost curves keep falling. The price gap between cheap and premium model tiers keeps widening in the cheap tier's favor, which will keep making aggressive model cascading an even bigger lever than it already is today. Evaluation tooling is maturing fast, with frameworks like RAGs and DeepEval adding more sophisticated, agent-specific metrics beyond simple accuracy, closing the gap between the demo looked convincing and we can prove this is reliable. And orchestration frameworks themselves, LangGraph, CrewAI, AutoGen, and their successors, are converging on similar architectural vocabulary, which is a strong signal the patterns covered in this video aren't a passing trend but a settling industry standard, the same way REST APIs or microservices settled into a shared, durable vocabulary for an earlier generation of software architecture. We covered a lot of ground: why monolithic prompts fail under their own weight, how to decompose work and engineer reliable personas, how agents remember through shared state and semantic memory, how DAGs, supervisors, and cyclical loops route control flow, how tools, function calling, and MCP connect agents to the world, how to prevent infinite loops and cascading errors, and then the full performance layer. Latency, cost, evaluation, reliability, and model cascading all tied together in one working Python build. If there's one idea to leave with, it's this: a multi-agent system is not a clever prompt, it's a small piece of governed software, and every technique in this video exists to bring engineering discipline, testing, measurement, guardrails, cost accounting, into a space that too often gets treated as pure prompt magic. If you're building agentic systems for production, save this video as a reference, and let us know in the comments which of these 6 architectural pillars or 5 performance topics you want a deeper, code-first follow-up on.